All right. How y'all doing tonight? All right. Trying to get myself ready here. Alrighty. Ugh. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Hi. Ow. Y'all doing okay? All right, here we go. All right, so tonight we're going to do the letter. I'm excited. And I'm going to show y'all a couple different ways to do it. That way you you don't have to use the styrofoam, but you can. Okay. Let me get our glue going here. Okay. So, first I want to show you a different. So you can get these letters. These are the like melamine MDF letters. Okay, they're not very thick. You can also get these. So these are the little metal letters that have the little space inside it. So you can do it by using this or using this. I'm also going to show you a couple of ways to do it on this. Alright. And since we're going to be doing a little bit of gap foam, I figured I'd foam a couple other things we could do later. See this cute little watering pot? I got this from Sims last year sometime. I haven't used it yet. This came from Pier 1. How cute is that? It's been hanging out in my bedroom. Alright. And we're going to put some gap foam in here. We won't be doing anything with those tonight. They have to dry. But, alright, so I have two letters. I have an H. I have an R. Okay, so they're exactly the same. But, we're going to kind of do them just a tad bit different. So you can either use the styrofoam and do this, or you can do it right on the letter, or you can gap it. Okay? So I have a lot of cute little flowers here. I also have some purple and white flowers. And I have some moss back here. Okay. And Bella's back here, of course. Alright. So first things first. You can do this without putting anything on it, or you can do it with putting something on it. It depends on how you want it to come out looking. So these are just little flower bouquets that I got. Let's see. This one is from Sims, and it's Rana Callus. Lord, I don't know what that is. It's item CS12655. It has all kinds of cute little colors and stuff. All we're going to use is the flower itself. Alright, so do you want to do styrofoam first or just flower? Y'all let me know what you'd rather do first. We can cut them all up though, in the meantime. Okay. So let's see. Let's just cut some. So you don't want it to have a lot of stem if you're not going to do the styrofoam. Okay? You want it to be pretty close cut. Okay? Just the flowers. Okay. Let's do that. Because this is actually faster. So you're cutting it pretty close to the stem. You want to leave some because you don't want the flower to come off of its little base. Okay? This is just a couple of different bouquets. This bouquet here came from Pier 1. At the end of Christmas, they had all their stuff on sale, and I just went in there and grabbed it. Because, yeah. Okay. So what I like to do is cut some off. That one's cut too big. So remember, you want to cut it pretty close up to the tip. You do not want to cut it so that things are going to come out, but what you're going to do is you're going to glue it. And what you do is you kind of glue it at an angle, and then you glue the other one at the other angle like this. Okay, you put little pieces in. The best way to do this is to kind of lay it out first. Okay, and see where your gaps are going to be. And then you can plan on what you're going to do for your gaps. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So the great thing about a stem like this is that it has all these little pieces in it, and we can use that to fill in our gaps. And that's what we'll do. Okay. So how y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing okay? Is it wonky tonight? Huh. It looks okay on my side, but you know, I think it just depends on whatever server you have signed in on. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Okay. Oh, I want this little one. And this big one. Okay. So you see how close I'm cutting them? Oh, let me zoom in. Ha! Y'all, seriously. Okay. So let's do the R with the flowers, because it's a little bit easier to do without the styrofoam. Alright, so you just take them and you start arranging them. And once you figure out where you like them, then we go back and glue them in. Okay? This R is for my mama, because her last name is Riley. So, okay. So you can see the big ones are good, but you definitely need some smaller ones too. Okay. Go like this. And it's okay if they kind of go over the letter a little bit, but you don't want them to go over to the point where you can't see that it's still that letter. Okay. Okay. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to start gluing it on. Hold on, I can't see what it says. Okay. So you just take it. I'm just going to run it through my glue. Okay, and then I will take it and I will kind of push the glue on and then put it where I want it to go, like that. Then I'll take another one, put it in the glue. Alright, same thing, kind of push it on and then push it into the last one. Okay, so let's kind of move these off. Alright, so we could do a big one here. Okay. Alright. So you just take it, you just kind of wipe some of the glue on, and then you can use it to kind of angle it and put it in the place you want it. The letters are MDF. You can get them, I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were $3.50. So you're going to put all the big stuff in first. Okay. Like that. Ooh, I got my finger that time. Why my glue's so hot? Let's turn it down. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. Alright. So what you're doing, okay, is you're just building it and kind of squashing them together and kind of gluing them almost to each other. So I'll get a little bit of glue on the flower and just kind of angle it in. You're gluing it both to the wood and to the other flowers. Okay. They're sticking to me. It's better to put the bigger flowers on the larger part of the letters, like that. You see how it starts to kind of build on each other, like that. And you kind of want your flowers, you can even angle them in a little bit so they don't. Like that. There we go. Okay. Then you can take little ones, and on the sides where you can see a spot, you just kind of plop one in. You can also take a little bit of the leaves and the greenery. Let's see. Let's put that up there. Oh, it hurts, doesn't it, Carla? Just want to say, dang it. Stop doing that. Okay, so I have this little one I can kind of plop up here. The most important thing when you're doing these is to keep the shape of the letter. So on these, you do want to stay within the confines of the letter. Oh, and let me tell y'all this. This is an old mat. I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some of their contact paper, and I just used my old mat with the contact paper on it, and that way I can protect my nice mat. And I can use this to do any of my gluing. The glue comes off very easily. I can also do pictures of like supplies or anything I'm selling. It's a great little trick. Okay. 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 So y'all doing okay today? I know. Okay. See, it comes up real easy on this. See how it just kind of comes right off? That's why I like this contact paper. It's like a plastic or something? I don't know. It works really well. Alright. So let's see. There we go. I don't want to obscure the letters. Let's put a pop of color. I mean a pop of white here. Okay. It's getting a little bit too cool now. I gotta crank it back up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Let's do the white. Now we'll save that for over there. Let's do, yeah. Let's do the yellow. Okay. See, the one thing I like about the big flowers is that it takes up a lot of space and you don't have to use as much. I want to be careful not to cover too much. I want to be able to see that it's an R. Okay, so if I have a little bit too much, I'll just kind of pull it back. All right, like that. You can also use another flower to kind of pull it back a little bit. It's like keeping the shape when you're using specific forms. So see, that'll cover it, but it also keeps this one from getting in the inside too much. Like that. Okay. Woo. All right, we'll see. Okay. Just pop it in there. Okay, you see how you can see a little bit here? So you can put a little baby flower here. Okay, you can also take, let's see how this looks. So see, we could put some of this in here and just kind of cover up some of that area. Let it come out a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so you kind of want it to not go out too far, so we'll, there we go. Like if you have areas on the inside, like in here, you can do that. It's probably better to do that with a leaf. Let's see. Okay, leaf here. Okay. Yep. All right. Then I'll just kind of put the leaf in here. Okay, so you can see I don't have the leaf coming out, but it covers the little area in there. Okay. Alrighty. Too much. So you want it to be pretty close to flat. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Sue. Okay. Alrighty. We're getting there. Okay. That's where I lost my flower. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. So we've got the basic part done. So you can see, you can still see it's an R. I don't like how this one sticks out. Let's pull this back a little bit. There we go. See that cute? Okay, for the bottom, you can, whoa, you can add in some little leaves under here to kind of cover up any of the spots. And so what I like to do is just kind of angle them under so that they're not sticking way out. so let's see. So we're going to cut these off. I'll glue it to this one, like that. Now I'll get a little glue on that. And I will stick it way up under my flower, like that. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Well, I don't like that leaf. Let's do this one. We can also put some of these in if we want to. Okay. So you just take one leaf, kind of glue it onto the other leaf, and then get a little bit on there and kind of stick it under there so it covers everything and it doesn't come out too far. Okay, so this is the one without any styrofoam. It just has the flowers on it. Oh, hey y'all, I got my sign in today. You want to see it? Look, that's what the kit's gonna be. Hi, Daddy. All right, let's do the one with the styrofoam. This one we're gonna do purple and white. Okay. I'm gonna keep this because it has lots of good greenery on it. Okay. I just wanted y'all to see the difference between with styrofoam and without. I kind of like with styrofoam. I think it gives it a little bit more dimension, but I wanted you to see to do it the other way in case you wanted to try it that way. Okay. So what I do is I just put it on here and I'll just kind of block it off. I like to take my scissors and score it, and then I know where to cut it. Alright, what did I do with those knives I brought up? Where'd you put them, Belle? Oh, here they are. Alright, so I just used regular kitchen knife. Alright, you can also go over a table and smack it. Now, I'm going to show you a trick. You can get this smooth by rubbing them against each other like this. You can smooth off edges this way. You see how nice and smooth it makes it? Alright, so we've got that part. Okay. This so I'll make a mark on it. I just find it easier to cut and to get it where you want it to be if you kind of mark it first. So if you mark it pretty well, it makes it just easier to cut. You can also take it on the side of a table and pop it off like that. Okay, so now you see how it's like all raggedy in here? You just take your other piece and you can smooth it out with that other piece. Okay. So sometimes if I cut it too much, I'll just use that trick instead of trying to cut it again. Okay. There we go. All right, let's see. Whew. put this in the middle here. There. And we're going to cut this in half, because we don't want it to stand up too much. Okay. Now you can also get the little things that cut the styrofoam, but the problem with that is it's really hot. It can burn your table or you. And it can be kind of hard to get the styrofoam to be where you want it to be. I kind of like to do it this way instead, because then I can make sure I get what I need, the shape I need to get. Yeah, it is a cute sign, isn't it? The great thing is that we now have 2 pieces. It will take glue better if you kind of get a smooth surface. So now we have our 2 pieces here. We've got our piece for here. Doesn't have to be perfect, because you know no one's going to see this part, right? You just want to be able to kind of cover it. Okay, I'll take this piece and I will cut another one, same size, and then we'll have top and bottom. There we go. Okay. So you're not going to see any of this, so you don't need perfection. You just want it to kind of cover. There we go. Remember to take them and kind of smooth them out so they'll take the glue better. There we go. I know it makes a mess, but it will save you some time in the long run if you do that. There we go. It doesn't take that long to clean up. It's not that bad. Okay. Okay, we got that part. This one needs... That's a little better. You see how you can easily just shave some off by doing that? Alright, let's cut this in half. Yeah. I would agree. I have a bee around here somewhere too. I tell you what else I like to do with these is to decoupage them. So I thought it would be fun to do the flower project. And you'll be able to feel it when they're pretty flat, because they'll kind of glide easily across each other. Okay. Let's clean this up real quick so it doesn't get in our way. Okay. That's why I have my trash can right there. Alright, now we've got... Okay, that one's a little bit long. Let's go. Actually, it's this that's a little bit long. Okay. Here, let's go ahead and glue the end pieces on. So I just take it and I just kind of run it in my glue. Just get some glue on it and just stick it down on the letter. Okay? Same thing with the other side. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's see. That one looks good. Alrighty. Remember, you're not looking for perfection. It's going to be on the bottom. You're not going to see it that much. Alrighty. Okay. There we go. One goes up here. This one here. And this. Let's just go in the middle. There we go. Okay. Aha! We got it. Did I make noise? I'm sorry, Bella. Don't worry if it's not exactly level. It's not going to make a big difference. Let's see. Yeah. This one. Okay. This one needs a little bit more. It's almost like using sandpaper, except it's using itself. There we go. Okay. Alright. Include that one. Okay, and this one. Alright. So you can already tell that it's going to look different than the other one because it has a raised surface. It's not a hugely raised surface, but see, if you look at it, you can tell already that it's going to be more defined. To me, it comes out a little bit more defined if you have a little bit of a raised piece on it. Alright, so we're going to do purple and white this time. And before you get started, if you want, you can take the back and you can put a couple staples on the back and put a string on it to use a bow. Or you can leave it like this. You can put little pieces on the back to hang it. You can get those from the store. Alright, so I'm going to cut these. I'm not going to cut them long, but I'm going to have a little bit of a stem to put inside here. Okay. Alrighty. Got to see if there's a pretty good amount of stems on this, so but I like this one because it's more three-dimensional because you have a little place to raise it up. Okay. Hey, Kim. Oh, there we go. Okay. But you could do all different kinds of flowers. You could do magnolias, you could do daisies, sunflowers, roses. You can really do pretty much most any flower. You could do, what are those ones called? Hydrangea. That would be a cute one. Okay. Alright, so we got a whole batch cut. So now, let's see. Yeah. So I'm just going to run it through the glue. Ooh, I need more glue. I'm going to glue it in, starting from the corner. Hold on, I need to add more glue. Alright. And what I'll do is I will put them more like straight up and down instead of angling them, because I'm not going to have to cover the whole thing, because what we're going to do is we're going to put moss around here. Okay. Okay. So I will angle this one just because I want to get that covered. Alright. So that's why I like to do it with the styrofoam, because you can make them more stand up straight. I kind of like that better. Okay. See, you can tell already how different it's going to look than the other one. Okay. Okay. So I want to try to keep them within the confines, but I don't want to be so specific that I'm going to do the same color all the way down. So I will vary it a little bit, even though we're only using 2 colors. The flowers came from Sims Pottery. Let me see if there's a number on here. Yes, there is. It is CS 14039, and it says times 24 rose bush. So I'll kind of alternate colors going down. I kind of like the monochromatic look just because it kind of gives it, I don't know, a pretty look, I guess. Alright. I don't want to run out of flowers, so let me make sure, because I have some other purple flowers that we might need to put in. There we go. See, isn't that cute? Okay. I think it makes a difference just putting the styrofoam in. But I wanted you to see it both ways because, you know, you might like it a different way than I do. Okay. You want to put them pretty close together. Let's see. Like that. Yeah, we have enough, so we're good. I got out the other purple because I wasn't sure if we would have quite enough or not, but I think we do to keep it in this color scheme. Isn't that pretty? Let's do the middle. Okay. And I don't have a whole lot of stem. See, it's just small. But you see how much different that looks? Okay. Alright. And this took, let's see, this bush was smaller. I think there were 16 on this bush and there were 24 on this bush. So we're going to have a few left over probably. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I like just the purple and white. Okay. Oh, I have one white left. Alright. Now. Whoop, this is too long. Hold on. Okay. It hit the wood. We don't want it to do that. Okay, so if you had, come on out. Let's see, do I have smaller purple flowers? I don't know if it's the same color. No, but just to show you. Okay. Alright, so if you had smaller purple flowers in the same color, okay, you could and I'm just going to show you this a little bit because I don't have the same exact color. But you can take smaller flowers and you can put them in on the inside and just cover up some of the inside. We may even be able to, yeah, we can do that with this one. Okay. Alright, so I'll put one there. Okay. And I'm going to put one here. For some reason that glue is kind of hot tonight. Well, I don't want it to. There we go. So you see how cute that looks? Hold on. So you want to be careful not to have your flowers start to dip in on each other because it will affect being able to see that. I don't like that. To see that letter. Absolutely it is. Alright, so now let's deal with the side. Okay. So I like to get these bags from Sims. It's just like loose moss. Okay. And what you can do is just grab a little handful, just kind of dip it in your glue a little bit, and then just start mossing around the flower. Okay, so we'll do, you could also, if you have a glue gun, you could run your glue gun across it. I use these little sticks, and I'll just kind of paint it like this, and then put some moss on it. We'll do a Kali tonight. She is a big moss person. Okay. You can also get sheets of moss from Sims. It comes in like a sheet that you can roll out. Those are pretty awesome. They're easier to glue if you're going to use like a glue gun. Okay, there we go. You do want to be careful you don't get yourself when you're doing this. Okay. But what I'll do is I'll kind of mound it on there, and then I'll just kind of see if there's any loose that I need to pull off. But you see how cute it is when you start mossing it? Now if you made this come up even more, then you can put leaves all down the side. You could also put like eucalyptus or boxwood. That looks super cute. There's like 1,000 ways you can do this. Okay. So I just keep grabbing a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot of glue. I mean, it's going to stick pretty well. Moss sticks really well. Alright. And the great thing is that you can pick up the discarded pieces and put it on. It doesn't have to be like perfect. That's what I like about moss. And it will give it a finished look. You could also moss it beforehand. I don't like to do that just because I find that if some of the moss gets on the top, it is a royal pain to stick things through moss. Hey, girl. Yeah, I know that's funny because I was just saying that. I don't moss before because it's hard to stick things right through moss. So that's why I do it this way. But you know, if it's not difficult for you, by all means, moss it first. I just have a tendency to do it last because I find it a pain to push it through the moss. And the other bad thing about moss is it's going to stick to your fingers. It's just gonna happen. You can also, so I have this nice little bin. So if you're having trouble getting the moss everywhere, if you will use a box or something and put it inside the box and then use your moss, you will find it's a little bit easier to keep the mess contained. Alright, so we just paint it. Alright, so how many of you have used the gap and crack foam to do any of your projects? Have any of y'all used that? Before we go, I thought I'd show you that real quick, because I think we're going to use that on some upcoming projects. Okay. Yeah, these are really cute for like a mantelpiece or something. So if you made one of these and you wanted to put a picture of it on your Etsy or something, I would put it on a fireplace and take pictures. A lot of people use them like that, just kind of sitting up on their fireplace. It's a very nice statement piece. You could also put it on your door. You could put it in a bathroom, on a dresser. And the nice thing about this one is it can just kind of sit up without having to have a hanging implement on it. I bet you've done some of these, have you, Carla? You see how nice that looks with the moss on it? Yes, cemetery, absolutely you could. Especially if you did this with a cross. So you could do this exact same pattern, just do it on a cross instead of doing a letter. Or you could do it as a letter for that person's last name or first name, depending on what the family wanted. This here, believe it or not, is going to go to my father-in-law's stone when it's done. This H is for Hogan. That is my father-in-law who passed away. That is his last name. So this is going to go on his gravestone. So yep, you sure can. I thought about doing a saddle for him, but I think he would like this better. He liked to walk around saying, "I'm Wiley Hogan." So that's what we're going to do. His gravestone should be ready soon. I'm going to take it there when it gets done. He wasn't purple and white, but I am. So it's gonna have my personality on it. I told my mother-in-law I was doing something, but I didn't tell her what. So hopefully she'll like it. Yes, great minds think alike. They sure do. I hope she'll like it. It's different. I didn't really want to do a traditional saddle. Of course, I'm going to have to paint and seal the back of this so that it can be outside, but I will do that. And I will spray this so that it will handle outside stuff. So, and the moss will stay on. One thing you can do if you put something together like this and you're worried about the moss coming off, after you get it on, if you will do some spray adhesive on top of it, it will keep that moss in place. I probably use spray adhesive more than I use anything else if I'm going to spray something. Just because it will help it keep its shape and things like that. And it'll help the moss stay on. Have you ever seen where they do those little moss pieces? That's what they do. They put the moss on and then they spray the spray adhesive on to try to keep the moss from coming off. So if you ever have trouble with something, if you'll put a little spray adhesive on it and then add a little bit more, that'll help keep it from falling off so much. Here we go. All right. Did I get it all? I haven't gotten that piece. I got one little spot left. Then I'll just make sure that there's no spot that has too much or too little. Yes, I do, Sue. Do not do that. Hold on. Let me see what the name of mine is. I don't want you paying. Norton's terrible. Don't buy Norton. Norton is terrible, terrible, terrible. Hold on. I'll tell you what the name of mine is. Okay. Whoa. Let me see what the name of mine is. It's WREATH. It's called WREATH. WEBROOT. It's not nearly as expensive and it's really good. I've had great success with it. And my boys play on games and download crap. So if we can get by without getting a virus, trust me, it's a good one. Because holy cow. My sister, her son, used to always get on these crazy sites, and they constantly had viruses, and they had that Norton. That stuff is, and it'll slow your computer down too, so don't do that. All right. I got glue all over me. Okay. Then glue strings. All right. So we got the letter done. Isn't that cute? So you can see the sides. I just have it all mossed. Okay, you could also, let's just kind of move this out of the way a little bit. You can also take some of your leaves and kind of put some of the leaves on the side like this. That looks super cute as well. Yep, that's right. No, it's R-O-O-T. WREATH. Like the square root. Yeah. So what do y'all think? You like it? I like it. Now I want you to see the difference. This is raised. This is not. So can you see how much more defined it is when you just raise it off the base a little bit? So exact same way we did it. It's just that this one has the styrofoam on it and this one doesn't. Isn't that different? Isn't that crazy how different it can be with just a tiny little bit of the change? Yeah. I hate spell check too, right? Spell check makes me crazy. See, this is cute, but you just can't really, I don't know, you just can't really see the R as much. I mean, you can see it, but it's just not as obvious. Even though we didn't go inside the letter, it's just because it's not raised off the base. You raise it off the base and you can immediately get a difference between how it looks. Okay. Now, I want to show you this. You see why I have an extra, why I have one of my old boards I use? Because, whew, I make a mess, y'all. Big old mess. And you can get giant bags of moss from Sims too. You can also get it from Walmart. Walmart has a really good brand. I don't remember what the name of it is. I bet Jonathan remembers, but I can never remember the name of it. Y'all just ignore it. That was the flower bucket. Alright, let me clean up this real quick. And then we'll show you the gaps and cracks. See, and the great thing is that none of this got on my real board. And if I have to come back and replace this, it's no big deal. It's $1. I just pull it off and put a new one on. Okay. Now, this is gaps and cracks. Let's see. I have a couple different versions of it. So this one says gaps and cracks on it. This one just says touch and foam. It's exactly the same thing. Okay. This is the Walmart brand. And this is DAP. So that's the big difference, okay? This is just different brands. But this is what I like about it. Okay, so you can take a container. Like I told y'all about this. So if you could cut and put a bunch of little pieces in there, and then you can flower it. Okay, and those look really cute. Or you can get some of this foam. So I know about this foam because my dad and I used to do this in an old house we had where we kept getting mice. But I actually saw Damon use this and never really thought about using it that way. But it does essentially make something just like styrofoam. Okay. But here's the trick with this stuff. Alright. So you want to not use the entire amount. So you just want to spray some of it. Okay. So you see that? It just comes in like that. You see how that works? And this is going to spread and puff up. Okay. So you want to be careful not to put too much in because that is going to expand. Okay. The great thing is that you can cut it off if you get too much. But see, like this, so I can I'm just kind of spraying it in here. Shouldn't do that. It's getting stuck. Let's give it a second. Okay, hold on, we got another can. I don't know, this can doesn't seem to like it very much. We'll give it a minute. This stuff is really inexpensive. I mean, it's like $3 or $4. So it's not a tragedy. All right. So you just kind of screw it on. It just has a little thing. We'll try this one. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so I'll fill it up about that much. A little bit more than half, but it's not really standing on top of each other. So, just finish this one. So the thing is, if it gets too much, you can cut it off, and if it's not enough, you can go back and add some later. Most of the time, you cannot reuse these, so once you open it, you want to spray it all and everything you can find. So like this. So I know that's going to come up too much, but I'm not sure about that last pan. It's kind of weird. And then you just throw it away. Yeah, I think it is the straw. It's not very good or something. Yeah. This one is supposed to be reusable, although I don't know how you could reuse it. So, we'll see. Alright. Yeah. It's not even going to come up. There it goes. Okay. So we'll just save that for later. There we go. I'm surprised because DAP is usually a really great product. So you want to let it dry for about 24 hours. And then we'll come back and we'll make something cute in these later. But I just wanted y'all to see this because if you have a really weird shape, like I'm going to show you. Alright, so at some point we're going to do this. Okay, and what I plan to do is I'm going to take a bag, like a plastic bag, like some saran wrap or something, and I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to spray the foam in here, and then when it's done, I'll pull it out. I'll pull out the plastic, and then I will spray paint it, the whole thing, with some of that paint that I have that will paint foam without causing it a problem. And then we're going to add some additional moss on it. So isn't that cute? So this is really good for things like this, where it would be kind of difficult to get something down in there and just kind of deal with it. So it would be a pain to cut a bunch of these to put in here, whereas you can just open this up and spray it, and then you're done. You just have to wait 24 hours. So I thought I would show y'all because I think that it is really a great thing to use, and it's just called Gaps and Cracks, and it works really well. So then you have a nice little surface that you can, you know, use your, and you can just take a knife and just slice it off if it comes outside. And you can spray this stuff inside because it's actually made for inside your house. It's made to go around, you know, your electrical outlets and stuff like that. And I know that because my dad taught me that. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I like how the H turned out. And what I'll do on the back is I will paint it, and then I will, this came from Sim's Pottery, and so did this one. I will paint it, and then I'm going to put a poly sealer on it. I will spray adhesive around where I have the moss, and the flowers should be fine outside. So these flowers are already made to go outside, so I don't have to worry about them. I will just protect the wood, and I will protect the moss. So that's it. Awesome! I hope y'all like this. It was something a little different. I thought it would be fun. So remember, I will not be here Sunday, so we will do something Monday, and we will make up Bow Sunday later in the month because I will be at Khalid's retreat. So that'll be fun. Maybe I'll come back with some really cool new ideas. That should be fun. Thank you. I like it too. This watering can or this watering can. They both came from Sims. Both came from Sims Pottery. Isn't that cute? You know, you could really just get a metal one, and all you have to do is put some spray adhesive on it, and then you just kind of shake some of your moss over it and let it stick, and then spray it again. You can get the exact same effect. Okay? Awesome! Well, this was fun, y'all. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do next week, but I will have a plan soon. So, but I will be in and around for sure. I leave Thursday morning, and I come back Sunday afternoon. So, I will be here for Monday for sure. Thank you! Alright, y'all have any questions that I missed? Thank you, Sue. Hey, Tess. Tess, I got my circle. I'm so excited. I got my Happy Mail. I'm going to play with it. We might even do it in here. That would be fun. Thank you. Well, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will see y'all soon. All right? Yeah, I'm excited. All right, y'all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Hey, if you try this out, make sure you post it in the group, okay? Bye, y'all.